The views and opinions expressed in the comments section of our online shows streamed on Facebook Live, YouTube channel and podcasts are those of our viewers and followers, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of TechSabado, and today is Tuesday.
TechSabado.
Yes, good evening sa inyong lahat at welcome na naman sa isang edisyon ng TechSabado dito sa aming Facebook Live na live. And sure, of course, nasa YouTube din kami sa TechSabado YouTube channel natin. Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com website and of course, the Manila Times. And now, still on our 7th year, this September, bare months na po, huwag niyo pong kalimutan. So, come November, 8 years na po ang TechSabado. Yan, the longest running Tech Talk show sa online. Sana kung nasa radyo pa tayo, di talagang longest na tayo. Isa na tayo sa longest siguro sa radyo. Hindi. Pagdating sa tech. Anyway, siyempre, every Saturday, dalawa na po ang ating kasama dito sa TechSabado since nag-start ng September. Walang iba kundi ang ating kasama since 2015 sa Radyo 5 at siyempre sa DWDD sa AFP Radio pa. Pagkakasama na kami nito. Walang iba kundi si Atty.
Melvin Calimag po ng The... Oy, bakit? Di ba ako narinig?
Sige, go.
Hello?
Yes.
Okay. From the Newsbytes. Kasi the Manila Times. Hindi ba na bagay yun? The Newsbytes.
Oy, ano talaga? The Manila Times. Di pwede Manila Times lang.
Parang The Ateneo, parang ganon.
Branding yan. The New York Times, di ba? New York Times lang. The State Times. Diba?
The Ateneo.
The Ateneo.
Oo, totoo. Nilalagyan nila ng The Ateneo.
Talaga. The Ateneo. Hindi yung D, hindi Delta.
Oo nga. Wala ba tayong dyan, Ging? Christmas song na
Jose Marijan? Wala maglagay ng Christmas song eh. Pero papakantahin na lang natin yung Tito ng San Pablo after nito. Pagkatapos ko sa interview. Okay, ang ating isang next co-host naman ng TechSabado. Nakasama na natin dito every Saturday. Walang iba kundi ang aking kasparing tuwing Martes ng gabi sa Today is Tuesday. Walang iba kundi si Tito ng bahay ng
yan. Tito na San Pablo. Yan, magandang gabi po. Raymund Tribdino, Tito Tribs ng Malaya Business Insight. Alam nyo, sabi mo papakantahin mo ko, kakanta ko.
Sige,
kakanta ko ng Whenever I See Girls and Boys. Kaso, mawawalan tayo ng kasi maaraw na. Bukas babagyo. So, hanggang nun lang para ulan lang.
Yes. Pero bago
Whenever I See Girls and Boys. Okay, go.
Anong kanta yun? Yung Jose Marijan.
Tingnan mo, parang, ano ba dating sa'yo? Parang tula. Tito Jing naman. Yan ang nga sinasabi ko.
Sige, bago maubusan naman tayo ng oras dito sa TechSabado. Sa lahat po nakikinig at nanonood po ng TechSabado at saka sa aming Facebook channel at saka sa ating YouTube live streaming. You know the drill. Every Saturday, post nyo po ang inyong internet speed para alam natin kung gaano po kabilis ang binibigay sa inyo ng mga internet service provider sa inyo. Base po siyempre sa inyong binabayaran buwan-buwan. Kung ang plan niyo is 50 Mbps, binabayaran nyo ng 1,500 a month, 1,500 a month. At least dapat medyo malapit-lapit sa 50. Dapat 49, 47. Maswerte na kayo kung 50 Mbps kayo tapos nakakakuha kayo ng 60, 70 o mas mataas pa. Di yan, sarap ng buhay ninyo. Pero yan na po, post nyo po. Wala po tayong pinipiling dito, telco or ISP provider sa programang ito. Post nyo lang po. Kung smart man yan, Globe, PLDT Home, StreamTech Planet or whatever. Lalo na sa ating mga nakikinig sa ating mga probinsya na naka-cable naman. Kasi alam naman natin sa cable TV, dun na po pinapasok sa package yung internet service kasi baliktad na po ngayon. You need an internet para po magkaroon ng cable TV. Para pong nung araw po, kailangan nyo po ng landline phone para magka-internet pero ngayon baliktad na. Kailangan nyo ng internet para po magkaroon kayo ng landline phone. So ganyan po ang panahon, ganyan po nag-evolve ang technology. So post po nyo kung gaano po kabilis. Para pag may problema, baka mamaya 50 Mbps nyo o 1 Mbps lang. Parang isa nating kaibigan dito, na naka-DSL, 2 Mbps lang daw yung kanyang kanyang home broadband. So may problema. So mukhang nasolusyonan naman agad dahil nakikinig naman sa atin yung mga iba-ibang internet service provider. Siyempre, yan po, TechSabado. Yes. Oh, mga kaibigan, anong bago? Ano bang pinag-uusapan sa ngayon? Sa mundo ng technology locally. Aside from AI. Gaya na sabi natin kanina, puro AI ang pag-usapan eh.
Hello. Hello. Oh, may dumaan na angel ha. Parang may dead air, may dead air.
Kaya tanong ko kung ano nga ang pinag-uusapan ngayon sa mundo ng technology. Aside from cellphone, saka
okay.
AI.
Dali, batiin mo natin yung mga unang bugso ng ano natin.
Oh, nandiyan na ba? Meron na ba? Sige.
Oo.
Batiin mo muna.
Dito, lalo na sa Facebook. So, of course, unang-una dyan, si RG Espinosa, sabi niya, good evening, Team TechSabado. Ayan, Sir Jing, Atty. Melvin, and Tito Tribs, watching FB Live at suking tagapakinig sa inyo, Radyo 5 pa, hanggang sa Facebook at YouTube channel dito sa Padala Davao del Sur. Yun, no?
Yun,
Talagang ano yan.
si RJ.
Loyalty Award, no? Tapos, Atty. Marnie Thompson, watching from Boracay. Bang matindi. Ano bang ginagawa mo dyan, Atty. Marnie, sa Boracay? Ano ba yan? Oo, parang nakita ko, kasama niya si Kat, yung asawa niya, no? Honeymoon ba yan, Atty. Marnie?
Kasama.
Ha?
Hindi si Michael Lance ang kasama. Hindi si Michael Lance.
Hindi si Michael Lance. Oy, si Pierre, Tito Galia, ang ating kaibigan na from civil society, from democracy.net.ph. Swabe, sync ang FB stream sa YouTube. Ba? Ayan, maraming salamat sa ating konsensya. Siya ang nagpapatakbo ng ating show, no?
Magandang stream.
Bigyan nga ng bonus yan, Jing. Bigyan mo ng bonus.
Pakinggan niya.
Yun. Oh, si Michael Lance, magandang gabi. Tito Jean, Atty. Melvin at Tito Tribs. 90.58 Mbps, PLDT Home Las Piñas. Aba, medyo maayos ang mo ha.
Bumalik na ang kanyang speed.
Ayun. Sabi matching pa ako. Wala tayong button pag online no. Sa radyo meron ganun di ba?
Oo, meron
yung cuff
May mute naman space bar. Hindi ka
okay, si Team De Los Reyes Feliciano, nako. Yung siga nating kaibigan from Dominguez Marketing. Good evening from Lawag City. Aba, ginagawa mo sa logo. Ginagawa mo dyan.
May picture nga pala sila dyan kasama si Senadora ng Lawag. Diba? Yun yung picture nila kanina.
Si Amy Marcos. Sa plano nakita ko. Si Joey Antiquisa, good evening. Yan, nanonood siya. Si Michael Lan, sabi niya maganda na kantahin ng rap version ang kanta. Kanta nila ni si Marichan. Kayang-kaya ni Tito Tribs yan. Tito Tribs, banat.
Wag po. Wag po. Bagyo ang dadating. Wag po.
Bagyo. Si Alex Fuentes, good evening po sa TechSabado. Yan. Happy weekend po sa inyo. Stay safe. Watching from the City of Smiles, Bacolod City. Yan. Of course, si Mel Dominguez ang nag-celebrate ng 28 ba?
28 years.
28 years of Dominguez Marketing.
28 years, no? Grabe, marami. Happy anniversary
to
Dominguez Marketing. Grabe.
Generous.
Tagal na ng Dominguez Marketing, no? Yan, dati unang nakita yan, nandun sa Lotus event pa nun, no? May Lotus pa nun. May Lotus pa ba?
Wala na yata.
Wala na. Doon sa mga kaibigan natin, meron pa bang, may gumagawin pa ba sa inyo ng Lotus?
Pero kung meron pang Lotus, ewan ko na, wala na siguro update Oo, hindi ba tibag-tibag ang Lotus nung araw, no? Yung kalaban ng Microsoft yan ng Office.
Kaso ngayon, meron na kasing dami na, meron ng Slack, Meron
Oo.
na ring Facebook, meron may Monday.com, may mga ganun
Google
pa eh.
Docs, di ba? Google Docs.
Oo,
Correct.
parang wala nang Lotus.
Oh, that's it.
No?
Meron actually yung Lotus tumatakbo sa Linux. Meron. Maraming salamat sa
meron pa?
Linux. Oh, maraming salamat sa Linux.
Okay.
Marami tayong mga software na
Ay,
luma
pang
na
binubuhay.
nakakatakbo pa.
Word Perfect ba
Oo, pero
nasa ano pa rin? Nasa
meron din WordStar,
WordStar.
tsaka Word Perfect
Yung
meron.
WordStar talaga gumagamit ng mga DOS.
Yep. DOS commando.
DOS command. Yan.
Copy, save, di ba?
Hirap nun. Naabot ko.
Yan. So may 1 2 pero pa Lotus 1 2 3. Yep.
Oy, since we're talking about anniversary
Lotus,
nga,
1, 2,
Dominguez
3.
Marketing 28 years. Gusto ko rin
Oh,
batiin.
sabi mo Tito Jing.
Gusto ko rin batiin ng ang Color It Red. 34 years. Na sila.
Wow.
34 yung 34.
Congratulations
Last night. Oh, nandun kami. Nakihalo alam naman natin yung mga kaibigan natin mga yan. So 34 years na lahat yung mga pinangyarihan kung saan sila nagsimula. Tagal na pala.
No.
34 years.
Okay, si Michael Lance, umiinom ako ng lagundi pag may ubo. Kasi kanina, nakita niya umubo ako kanina. Sige, itatry ko rin yung lagundi na yan. Josa Matet, good evening po, TechSabado. Sana bukas 20 pesos na ang kilo ng bigas.
Yan.
Baka yung
Yung supot, yung pinagwalisan. Meron po dito sa amin.
Yung supot 20 pesos.
Meron po dito sa amin. Kay San Pablo yung pinagwalisan sa rice mill.
Sama naman. No.
22.
Talaga?
Pero pakain sa ano yun. Hindi,
manok.
Animal feed. Pero binibenta yon. Meron siyang sako. Yun ata, kung yun ang pinapangako noon, ay hindi ko pwede.
Si Josa Batet, kasama niya si Gina Bocaya.
Para ako ba naglalag? Parang
alam ko ba maganda natin?
Oo nga, parang si Tito Tribs, parang may problema. Naglalag. Akala ko yung connection ko pala siya pala. Ayun.
Teka, ayusin ko lang.
Happy birthday to Sheila Rada, sabi ni Mel Dominguez. Oy,
happy birthday!
Sheila Rada.
Happy birthday, Sheila.
Bukas pa yun, bukas.
Wala pa tayong happy birthday dyan.
Advance happy birthday, Sheila.
Ka-birthday niya, may ka-birthday siya.
Sa doon siya sa
Lawag magse-celebrate.
Sa celebrate. Masarap pagkain diyan sa Lawag.
Papaitan saka pinakbet.
Taga doon din yung ka-birthday niya.
Sabi ni birthday pala ni FM Senior sa September 11. Sabi ni Michael Lance. So Michael Lance. So
happy birthday na lang.
Doon yun parang holiday. Parang holiday yata yun sa Norte, no?
Happy birthday na lang.
Oo. Sabi ni Michael, naabutan ko pa yung Lotus 123 at WordStar.
Siyempre naman, tanda ka na rin.
Happy birthday! Oo nga. 20 pesos kada piraso ng kamatis. Oo nga daw, sabi nila. After nung sibuyas, kamatis naman daw. Ang mahal daw na kamatis ngayon.
Oo, kasambahay nga namin, reklamo na nga, mahal ng gulay. Kaya nga kanina meron nagtitinda sa tabing kalye, sinamantala na nila mamili kasi mura yung mga dito sa area namin. Binigyan pa sila libre. Ano binigyan libre? Libreng ampalaya.
Sabi ni Michael Lab, nagtataka ako, ang mahal daw ng bigas pero masyadong mura ang binibiling palay sa mga magsasaka.
Yun na nga Yun na nga hindi nila makorek. Yun na nga hindi nila makorek na maling sistema nangyayari. Parang ano lang yan, walang pagkaiba yan sa bangko. Dami mong pera pero konti interest. Pareho lang, di ba? Hindi na makorek yan
Hindi, tsaka yung bangko ang labo no? Pag wala kang pera, hindi ka pahihiramin. Di ba? Pag may pera ka, pahiramin ka. Ba't kaya ka nga hiram dahil wala kang pera Di ba?
Wala eh.
Oh.
Tama.
Yun na nga eh.
Twisted na kasi twisted na yung yung financial system natin eh. Na alam mo yun, naiwan yung yung hindi na balance eh. Naiwan yung balance naiwan na imbalance siya for the longest time na pabayaan. So lumayo yung problema na dapat i-fix. So wala na. Hirap na ayusin yung mga kailangan 10,000 pera mo para maka-earn ka at least one ng interest na 75 cents, mga ganun. Ano na yun eh, that's ano na yun. Kaya nga wala na nagbabangko eh. Sa totoo lang, puro corporate lang ang account magkaramihan. Tsaka yung talagang super yaman na, super rich.
Tapos nagtataka yung mga yung BSP tsaka yung mga banks, bakit daw walang mga bank accounts yung mga karamihan ng mga tao? Eh siyempre, wala nang pera eh. Paano sa mga kapagbangko? Hindi naman sila pinapansin ng bangko pag walang pera.
Tulog ang pera nila at the same time. Imagine kung magwi-withdraw sila sa ibang ATM, bawas ng bawas doon sa pera nila. Kung konti na lang yung pera nila, babawasan po ng 18 pesos parate, di ba?
Correct.
Kasalanan ba nila na offline yung ATM na pagkukuhanan nila sa bangko nila?
Tapos meron pa yung average daily balance na nakakabuisit, di ba?
Yung 5,000, yung kakapiranggot na 5,000 nila nababawasan kasi tulog na nga yung pera nila, kinakaltasan pa.
Oo, 300.
Hanggang sa maubos, no?
Hanggat maubos, ubusin talaga, sisimutin yun. Magde-negative pa yun. Ikaw pa ngayon may utang. Di ba? Ikaw pa ngayon may utang kayo sa bangko. So, wala. Kaya hindi nakapagtaka na talagang maraming unbank. Kaya nga yung word na unbank na invento dahil nga marami, di ba? Yan nga yung mga tinatap na mga the likes of the likes of fintech. Di ba? Yan ang mga tinatap na fintech.
Nagkaroon ng market ng fintech eh, no?
Oo. Kaya nga threaten talaga ang mainstream bank. Yung mga legacy na nga sila eh. Compared sa fintech, legacy na sila.
Lalo na yung mga neobanks, di ba? Yung mga neobanks tulad ng Tonic na nagsimula na talagang digital bank, wala silang yung mga payment system tulad ng Maya na nag-move from a payment app into a bank, di ba? So, yung overhead nila, wala silang bangko, wala silang branches, di ba? So, yun yung well, di ba ang purpose naman nun talaga to bank para magkaroon ng opportunities yung mga unbank, di ba?
Yes,
pero parang nagiging nakita mo, napapansin nyo, nagta-transition na into what a legacy system is. Lahat ng mga galaw mo may charges. Yung cash in na dating walang charge, may charge na ngayon, di ba?
Pwede mag-cash over the counter
sa
ngayon,
GCash.
Diba?
Tapos marami pang iba na patong-patong, di ba?
Di ba? Hindi ka na pwede mag-cash over the counter.
Correct. Kasi actually yung cash over the counter ata
may minimum na.
Oo. Yun ata Tito Jing parang nalaman nila na isa sa mga yun.
Ganun na nga.
Totoo.
So yung fintech ngayon ang namamayag pagdating sa banking system. Kasi yung pati yung business transaction dun na rin eh. Especially the small mga small medium enterprises. Yun ang ginagamit nila for transactions, yan mga GCash, yung Maya at yung mga iba pa na digital banking. So the whole legacy banking system should reinvent themselves. Di ba? Kaso nga reinvent sila, nagkakaroon ng online app, yun lang, hanggang doon lang eh. Pero wala ka talaga yung actual wala pa sila dun sa actual talagang ginagawa as easy ng mga Maya at saka GCash na people are transacting business talaga. Yung talagang may business transaction na nangyayari. Parang nagiging B2B na yung approach ng mga fintech, ibang fintech. Tapos B2C, C2B, mga ganun. At saka ang bilis ng transaction. Diba? Ang bilis ng transaction. To the point na marami nga na-scam. Yun nga lang ang problema.
Oo.
Yun ang problema doon.
Marami na-scam.
Sabi ni Atty. Marnie Thompson, i-abolish na daw ni Bongbong Marcos ang law of supply and demand. Kasi nga, di ba,
Grabe. Kawawa talaga.
Ginawa ng nilagyan ng price control, di ba?
Oo, ng cap.
Presyo
Bigyan ng cap.
Tapos dahil doon, ng cap,
Oo.
Actually, ano yan yung isang contemporary ko sa UP, si Shelo Magno, USEC ng Department of Finance. Kasi inano niya yun kumbaga nag-post siya sa social media na it's not a wise move. It goes against the basic principles of law of supply and demand.
Lalo magkakaproblema yung supply and demand. Lalo magkakaproblema dahil nilalagyan mo ng pinipilit mo 'di ba? Pinipilit mo na hindi sa market forces na against the market forces ang problema naman diyan ang pa rin, ang tinatamaan pa rin yung retailers. Bakit hindi sila pumunta dun sa mga kartel? Diba? Yun yung problema, yung kartel nga na sinasabi nila. Yun ang problema. Yun ang dapat lang puntahan. Diba? Yan. Kasi marami eventually technology rin will save this problem. Technology talaga ang maraming solusyon diyan. Katulad nga ng mga yan.
Correct. Si Jerry Conto, magandang gabi sa mga batikang technophiles ng Tech Saturday, Tech Sabado. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you, Jerry.
Si Michael Lance, ang sabi,
ayaw kasi
ituro ang financial literacy sa kabataan. Masyadong inuunang maglaan ng confidential fund ang sekretary nila. Oo nga. Kailangan natin magtrabaho kasi wala tayong confidential funds.
Gabi. Anyway, yan. Yung mga pagtuturo ng mga kabataan. Pag-uusapan natin yan mamaya. In a while, pag-uusapan natin yung mga how to
may guest tayo ngayon. Tonight, may guest tayo.
To technology, no? Yan ang ating pag-uusapan ngayong gabi. So, maya lang. Basahin mo muna yung mga bago tayo mag-segue sa ating guest for tonight. Tapusin mo muna yung mga naka-post diyan sa ating mga kaibigan.
Comments.
Si Tito Gaga nag-post ng speed. Basahin mo nga.
Test. Nga. Converge daw siya 232. Wow. Mbps. Wow. That's impressive.
Di ba nag-agree tayo na may speed cap sa TechSabado? Walang magmamayabang ng mas mataas sa 100 Mbps. 500 ba? 1 gigabyte.
1 gig.
Si 7 kasi wala naman siya sa Pilipinas.
Oo nga. Kita mo, kahit sa internet speed, masama yung nilalagyan mo ng cap.
Pero sabi naman niya, yung 232 niya is less than the half of the promised 500 Mbps.
Abay, ay magalit.
Ayun pala. Yung backup niya ng PLDT, 22.8 Mbps. Within 80% of the promised 25 Mbps. Globe lines. Ba?
Okay,
dalawang backup niya. Down again as usual.
Anyway. Okay, tayo? Pasok natin mag-guest natin for tonight. Maganda yan.
Madali lang. Ubusin ko lang muna.
Ano pa ba? Sige.
Marami pa. Si Josa Matet, kailangan daw ng budget ni Madam Sara para dun sa kanina, yung confidential funds. Yeah.
May 150 million na yun. Dilipat. Di ba?
Ito naman si Michael Lance. Buti pa ang matching. Nakapag-register ng SIM card. Sabi kasi nung doon sa hearing sa Senate. Totoo raw. Yung sa Senate hearing. Trinay ng NBI na mag-register yung ng SIM card ng Globe yata. Using yung photo ng unggoy. Ayun. Tinanggap naman daw.
Globe yun?
Oo.
Patay tayo dyan.
Sabi sa akin niyan, sino ba yung si Danny ba? Si Danny ata, ang andun sa natin, group chat natin.
Si Danny.
Dapat meron ng marang, ano sinabi yung technology na mag-filter na kung tao o hayop, parang gano'n. May sinabi siya.
Kailangan ng AI. Kahit AI ba, kaya ba mag-filter? Di ba? prove to me that you're not a robot. Oh, so dapat meron ng prove that you are not a monkey. Dapat ganun.
Raulo rin itong NBI no? Talagang naghanap ng ng pwedeng no? Pang-asar no? Si Solitario Balsamo, good evening, TechSabado. Parang ang dami natin ang dami nating mga viewers ngayon.
Dami nagko-comment. Umpisa pa lang wala pa So magiging interesting yung natin, usapan natin. Kaya nga buti na lang maraming nakasubaybay ngayon.
Si Nesofla Sinabsol, ito baka baliktad pangalan nito, pinaliktad lang. Sabi niya, good day TechSabado, what can you say po sa gustong ipatupad na limit na own SIM card to 10 only? May gano'n ba? May proposal ba na gano'n?
Bakit? Pwede yun, kasi may mga opisina na nagpo-provide ng ng mga office phones.
Oo. Basta ma-register lang, di ba? Yun lang naman ang requirement ng batas di ba?
Oo, yun. Tama. Yun lang naman requirement ng batas. Basta registered lang.
Ang nag-propose noon attorney Tito Jing ang Cybercrime Investigation and Coordinating Center. Di ba nagpunta tayo doon? Naalala nyo yung sa Quezon City, tama ba?
Akala ko na abolish.
Bakit daw?
Sila ang sila ang nag-propose noon na magkaroon ng SIM, pag-manage ng SIM na isang individual can only 10. Tapos kasi nagkaroon ng investigation na may isang tao nakapag-register ng 600 cards.
Hindi problema yung tao.
Hindi ba? Hindi, sistema yun
problema yun sa
sistema yun Sistema yun.
Yes.
Diba? So,
yung problema ng tao.
Correct.
Baka NBI din yun.
Kanina Tito Jing, sabi mo kung anong mga bago tayo mag-transition dito sa ating mga kaibigan, dun sa kanina tinanong mo ano yung mga parating na mga usapin sa IT, di ba, na hindi AI. So, merong si Michael Lance na DevCon na darating itong September 11 sa sa Monday. Tapos di ba? Yes. Pero ito yung gusto kong i-bring up, yung Philippine Open Gov Leadership Forum na nakapako din sa technology. So Open Gov Leadership, this is the second or third time ata na nagkaroon ng event na ito. Hindi siya dapat networking event. Dapat isang event siya kung mapapakilala natin at mag-bring up natin yung mga problemang na-experience natin. Kunyari yan sa fintech, 'di ba? Sa agri. 'Di ba ang daming apps before the pandemic nung sumusulat pa kami ni Ludi sa Greenfields magazine. Ang daming apps na ginawa para ma-manage yung transport ng goods ng farmers, malabanan yung middlemen and so on and so forth, yung bigas, yung tomatoes, yung onions. Ngayon walay na sila, hindi na sila sinuportahan, hindi na ginagamit yung kanilang mga kasi balik na dun sa sistema dati. Balik na dun sa dating sistema. So I don't know if it's the middleman who is killing it, na parang, di ba? Hindi ko alam wala akong, pero syempre sila yung nasa losing end. Yan. So, yan yung yan non-AI. Tapos sa October 2 to 5 yung Philippine Fintech Festival.
Okay.
Yan. So tama-tama pinag-uusapan natin yung fintech kanina.
And Michael Lance, post mo yung DevCon dyan sa ating comment section para maalam ng mga kaibigan natin sa technology na meron palang ganyang event. And speaking of events, sa September 19 naman, yung ASEAN-Japan Cybersecurity Community International Conference or CyberSecCon Philippines. Yan po. The Philippine leg of the International Conference on ASEAN-Japan Cybersecurity Community. Para po sa sa September 19. Free po ito, pero you have to register. Yan. So register lang po kayo sa. Ipopost din namin sa ating comment section itong event na to. Abang-abangan nyo lang. Huwag kalimutan, September 19. ASEAN-Japan Cybersecurity Community International Conference with CyberSecCon PH. Yan po yung mangyayari po sa darating na September. Okay, maraming mag-a-attend dyan. Ako, grabe. Alam naman natin, nandiyan mga kaibigan natin sa PH Cert, no?
Oo.
Sila Abet de la Cruz, syempre. Yan ang ano natin. Saka sino pa ba yung mga natin kaibigan natin dyan? Si Mara Villegas, nandiyan din. PH Cert din yan. Parati natin nakakasama dito si Lito Averia, yan. Of course, president ng PH Cert. Ano po to? Part po to ng NANDAP. Tama ba?
NADPAP?
NADPAP.
NADPAP. Sorry.
National Association of Data Privacy Officers of the Philippines.
Yes.
Yan. Oy, Tito Jing, maganda yung bringing up mo yung Japan, ha? Sisingit ko na lang kasi meron pa tayong 2 to 3 minutes. Alam nyo ba sa Japan, yung cybersecurity agency nila mismo na hack for many months. So this was for many months. So nung August 4 lang this year, niran ko yung story na yan sa Malaya. Nung August 4 this year, yung NISC nila inadmit publicly na nagkaroon sila ng security breach, mga email conversations lang naman. Well, that's how they put it, na na-expose sa mga unauthorized parties, di ba? Na nagsimula yung problema na yon nung parang Oktubre pa of last year. Wala namang naging malaking problema. Pero ito 'yon. Sabi ng Japan, it was a nation-state attack by the People's Liberation Army of China. Sila yung sila yung pinaniniwalaan nilang nag-attack doon sa kanila.
Dito sa Asia naman, dalawa lang yan, China o kaya North Korea. Anyway,
yes. Okay.
Poprotektahan tayong lahat niyan. Basta meron training and education sa mga next generation of cybersecurity people. Yung next generation. So meron project na ginagawa hindi lang sa cybersecurity naman, anything about technology, no, na especially alam naman natin, no, pag technology forward nag-iisip ang isang bansa, this is key for the development of ito yung susi po for for growth and productivity ng isang bansa, and I hope this initiative will actually help the youth, at papa-explain natin sa mga guests natin kung paano nga ito makakatulong. Ang tawag po sa project na to ay BYTE. So it seeks to train the youth, especially those out of school, tuturuan sila ng technology. Yan ang mga yan ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong gabi. So makakasama natin ngayong gabi si people from from Cebu, from South. Kaya talagang tayo ngayon multi-provincial ang natin, ang nationwide ang ating multi-provincial ang ating broadcast ngayon. So makakasama natin si Jeff Llanto, Executive Director, Central Visayas Information Sharing Network Foundation Incorporated o CVISNET. Good evening, Jeff. Nandiyan na ba?
Good evening, Jing. Good evening, Jing.
Yes.
Good evening also Melvin and Raymond. It's nice to be here. Thank you very much for inviting us.
Yes. So tapos ang isa natin makakasama din ngayong gabi si Jade Gadiane, IT Director ng Ramon Aboitiz Foundation Incorporated or RAFI. Sorry Jade, tama ba yung pronunciation ko nung family name mo? Hindi ko pala natanong kanina. Jade, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Jing. Yes, it's Gadiane.
Gadiane.
Jade Gadiane. Good evening, Jing. Good evening, Kyra. Good evening, Melvin. And also Raymond.
Siyempre, para makompleto itong grupo na to sa usapan na to, makakasama natin, matagal na rin natin kaibigan dito sa sector ng especially sa sector ng IT journalism. At parati natin din nakakasama dito sa TechSabado. Walang iba ang founder ng InnoPub, and of course, siya po ay isang Cebu Caritas volunteer, ang ating kaibigan na si Max Limpag. Good evening, Max.
Mayong gabi, Jing, Attorney Melvin, and Tribs. Mayong gabi ninyong tanan.
Mayong gabi.
Welcome, gentlemen. At ito nga, pag-uusapan natin itong BYTE na to. Hindi po Newsbytes, ha? BYTE. So who will throw the first garbo on this initiative?
Siguro Jing, I can introduce it, but
Sige,
si
sure.
Beam, I will let Beam explain yung program. Actually si Beam, si Jeffrey, I call him old timers call him Beam. Long time na kakilala ko, ito pa yung during the time of BBS pa. Sila yung nag-run ng BBS ng DOST. So matagal lang kaming magkakilala. Beam has always been in yung public sector, IT. He runs yung sa CVISNET, it's a foundation. It used to be yung um, internet provider ng ng mga government agencies dati, and then they came into yung they shifted to services. They ran websites for mga government agencies. And then ngayon may mga ibang projects, mga interesting projects. So Beam said na may isang old-timer din dito na nag-donate ng mga Blade servers, and then he was thinking of setting up yung training center. And then he reached out to me kasi I volunteer for Cebu Caritas. Disclaimer, yung Caritas is not an insurance company kasi ang daming they think na insurance yung Caritas, but it's actually a part of the church. Its mandate is to help yung ang tawag doon anawim, the lost, the last, and the least, yung mga poorest of the poor. So Beam said na we can set up a training center to help them. So we immediately signed up because we thought na ang laking tulong ng magawa ng project na to. Si Beam, I'll ask Beam na lang to explain, Beam, what BYTE is.
Yes, Beam, please.
Okay, so thank you, Max. So anyway, BYTE is the Building Youth Through Technology Empowerment. But before that, Attorney Jing, is that what we're doing here, it's CVISNET Foundation. I would like to introduce the foundation. It's an IT foundation that started as a project of the government. I worked with UST for more than 15 years as their head for IT development and also for the IT area. If you remember March 29, the first internet connection, March 29, that was 1994, the first internet connection was here in Cebu. And I was very fortunate that I was one to help and connect the Philippines when I was still working with UST. So during that time, ang nangyari noon is that nobody knows the internet, right? Nobody knows and understand the internet. That's a very heavy load for the UST in how you are going to train people on the internet side. That's the first phase. The next phase is how to create content to the internet. Sa UST din yun. Kasi in the 1990s, if you need to connect to the internet, you need to have a good background on Linux or Unix operating system. So eventually, yung CVISNET becomes a foundation. We became a secondary ISP before PLDT and Globe. So we provide dial-up connections. We went as high as 32 telephone lines, and we provide the government. Then we train them. That's the first phase, connection. Then the second phase is content. Then it still runs by blood that I want to connect the disadvantaged sector, especially the out-of-school youth. So when Max came in, and another group from the NGOs and also from Ramon Aboitiz Foundation, we talked that how about if we are going to create a training center that focus for the youth, the out-of-school youth. If we can train them in just using them, in telling them how to set up a Linux server, how to set up a web server, a file server, an email server. You don't need to have a college graduate for this one, di ba? It can be, kung magaling kang maglaro ng Mobile Legends, most probably you also know how to configure some of the stuff running on the Linux, because I think the cell phone is very complicated system. Android is running on Linux, right? So then it comes to us, RAFI and Caritas and CVISNET, and also DOST. DOST said, we have a space, you can use it. Their space is the Tech Fusion Hub. Then we put BYTE in it. We talked to the regional director. Okay, so You have the hardware being donated by Info Weapons. It's a blade server in one new blade server. Then here, we just started last February and we want to expand it more. So I think that's the start of the BYTE project. It's very focused sa out of school youth, just to train them. You know, if you see children playing Mobile Legends and all the stuff, I think it's easier for them, also especially the youth, to learn more on entry-level technology, not really the high level. Kasi kailangan mo ng college graduate, all the algorithms, all the programming skills, and so on. Pero sa running on servers, all you have to do is just to administer it, right? You have, if you know how to set up, you know, just do all the things. It's a repetitive thing to do. Set up all those files, you know where it is located, what is the directories, and so on and so forth. So basically, yun ang ginawa namin, Jing, sa with BYTE.
Jade, anong role ng Ramon Aboitiz Foundation on this project?
Yeah. So good evening. So I just have to like introduce first RAFI. At least you'll have the like the you'll have the information how RAFI can connect with the project right now. So RAFI is actually a non-profit organization established in 1966 by its founder, Don Ramon Aboitiz. So you might be wondering, actually Aboitiz has two foundation. One is the corporate foundation, and the other one is the family. So basically, yung si RAFI is basically a foundation from the Don Ramon lineage. So RAFI is like really wants to address the areas yung sinabi kanina ni Max na the least, the last, and the lost. Now for us to be able to address those concerns and issues is that RAFI focuses its programs around three domains. Yung isa is economic, economic well-being, improving the economic well-being of communities. Yung pangalawa is social well-being, creating opportunities for growth and improving a sense of identity and purpose. And third is physical well-being. So basically, it's building healthy, resilient, and livable communities. So one of the major goals right now of RAFI is basically we're very aggressive when it comes to like digital transformation. And one of the key strategies of RAFI is to build, especially in Cebu, focus on Cebu, is to build barangays, and again, it's evident, we cannot get away with it, technology right now is no longer an option; it's already a demand. So if we do building, technology should be part of it, It should be part of it. And then parang my parents is from DICT, but they're already retired, and they knew also BIM. This shows how BIM is really an old timer, and it so happened, na parang there was an opportunity. Sorry, BIM, but there was an opportunity that we talked with BIM, and he shared this like a vision, and this is also somehow the vision of RAFI IT na we also want to parang since we're very aggressive on IT transformation and we're just focused on the internal segment of RAFI, and then since we are social development worker by our primary hat, so we want to also extend those knowledge that we have to the communities in Cebu. And then there's this parang opportunity that we talked with BIM, and actually it really complements to the direction of RAFI, and so that's the start, it's not just the BYTE is also not also like we also like we were also like building the operating model of BYTE. It's not just simply focused on out of school youth, but it can also be like a platform that can also help build barangays, because again, the reality is yung mga barangays, especially on the other parts of Cebu, no, or even in the Philippines, parang even simple Excel, they don't know how. That BYTE could also be like a good platform that could also capable those that are in barangays, especially if we are helping them transform, no, digitally, no. And also, again, this is also like the current state of, I mean, not just Philippines, but the entire this is international concern. We are really parang we have a talent war. No? We have a talent war, especially in cybersecurity. Of course, we are losing the war. Again, there's also scarcity of the talents. And if you try to look into like the data of USAID when it comes to CISSP, na mga graduates also, no, mga certified CISSP, parang si Philippines yata yung pinaka mababa. So why not, no? Again, aside from like helping those na parang from in the barangays, there's also opportunity with those in the out of school youths, no? At least we can also parang increase the workforce development of the Philippines in the realms of technology. So that is where RAFI and BYTE and also the other partners of BYTE complements.
Thank you
Siguro,
for
Jing,
that.
I
Thank you for
can
that.
share,
Yes, sir.
I posted about this. I don't know if nakita mo yun, but may parang model na kami na nakita na inspiration din. Used to
Okay.
be the parang maintenance worker BIM, no, ng DOST. Actually, he started out as a construction worker, kinausap ko. He was setting up yung mga blade server. And while setting it up, nagkwento siya yung experience na ano daw, nag-start siya, construction worker, yung isang bank ata yung last na construction work niya. And then nakapasok sa DOST, naging maintenance worker doon. And then kasi gusto niyang mag ano yun, yung parang radio operator, para mag-aral siya and then para lumabas. But sa DOST, he met BIM. Nakasali siya ng mga training and then eventually tumulo na mag-set up ng mga computers, ng mga printers, kasi 'di ba dati ang mahal ng mga printers. So kailangan i-share mo 'yan talaga, i-share mo sa LAN yung mga ganun na setup. And then sila ni BIM nag ano ng BBS and then tumulong sa CVISNET and now he's running 2 data centers for a company in I think Vietnam to BIM, no? So yun yung parang model. BIM said na he wanted to train more people na parang to come out that way ba. So yun yung parang inspiration namin.
Ang galing. Yes, anything is
Si
possible.
Jing, si Pierre nag
comment. Okay.
Si Pierre nag-post ng link tungkol doon sa Project BYTE dyan sa natin sa Facebook chat natin. Ayun, pwede nilang i-link. Nandun yung website ng Project BYTE. Yung nga ang objective nila as based dito sa website is to establish an ICT training center to develop technology skills primarily for out of school youth. Yun. So, ang tanong ko lang kay Jeff tsaka kay Jade. Ano na ba? Existing na ba yung training center? Kasi parang parang meron na rin silang na training. Tulad ng binabanggit ni Max na yung construction worker na ngayon parang parang tech administrator na ng isang kumpanya.
Yes, yung nangyari if hello, can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Yes, okay. So what Max yung binigay niya na example, yung mga trainees ko dati. When I started with UST, iba talaga yung scenario dati. You need to know about the physical connections of the web or the internet during that time. Wala pang World Wide Web pala doon. It's more on UUC CP connection. It's more on Unix to Unix connection. So yung example ni Max, kasi si Roy yung pangalan ng ano namin, yung janitor namin. He's very interested in technology. So to make it short, I taught him some things, especially the roles of, the TCP/IP, how paano ito tatakbo and how it propagates to other networks. So Roy becomes a very solid support for the foundation that we give dial-up connections to our members. And also CVISNET, since in its inception in 1997 up to now, we are still conducting trainings to the less disadvantaged kids right now. Yung pinaka-main namin na system administrator at saka programmer used to be he's a son of a fisherman in Leyte. Yung isa, we train him, yung trabaho niya dati, yung mag-ano ng lumpia, yung ano,
Yes. Balot.
so we train them. Oh, meron pa kaming staff ngayon who's not yet a graduate, but they already know the platform and how to use Laravel, how to use PHP, and so on. Kasi we have this concept, we call it BOSS. Everybody calls BOSS to us. So it's be open, share, and serve. So we're using the open source technology to promote it to the next batch. So yung BYTE kasi, we have the experience, and we also have while working in DOST, we have the curriculum on the basic Linux administration. So we have that curriculum, and I asked Max if we can start with the basic Linux administration to teach them how to use Linux. Sad to say that when I was still in DOST, DOST started to create our own Linux. Anong tawag yun? Distribution, yung Bayanihan Linux. But we were promoting it, and unfortunately, it never took off because the other operating systems are more stronger in marketing. But Linux is widely used in the world, in the internet. I think more than 80% are running Linux servers. Most of our cell phones, the Androids, are running Linux. So I think there is a very big demand for knowledge of Linux that we can impart not only on the college graduate, yung mga out of school youth, they can learn, and I believe they can learn if only they will be guided properly, and they will be given the tools, just like what we did 2 weeks ago with the event of RAFI. There's a tech advocacy, and I said, why not we put an on-premise server on SM where they held the exhibit. We had an on-premise server, and we let the students to compete each other to create their website on the on-premise server. This is now giving an idea to the students how a cloud really works. Because sa atin, what we know about cloud is AWS, Google, and so on. It's just an array or a set of servers. But this time, we're going to give them a feel. Ano talaga yung cloud? So they know yung RAM, they know the hard drive. Bakit yung file ko hindi siya nagagana? Maybe it's because of the memory. Then that's the time they're going to change the memory and upgrade it. So those are the things that we learn, and it's good to know that RAFI, Caritas, DOST, CVISNET, and the other groups join in with this collaboration. So we just started this one, the BY project, just somewhere on May. We discussed it, supported by DOST. So we have the servers right now. We're now creating the curriculum. We're now inviting different. Caritas said they are going to put, the students coming from the less fortunate in the fourth-class municipalities and so on. Yes.
Yung role namin is not just to lead prayers during snacks and meals, but formation, because importante din yung formation, and we tap yung network kasi yung Caritas is the archdiocesan organization, but we have different parish Caritas, so may network ka sa parishes. So ang plan really is to let the parish identify yung sa ano nila kung
Yes,
sino yung
area
pwedeng
nila.
i-train because they know them better. Na
Yeah.
ito ano to, pwede tong ma-train kasi kailangan mo rin na someone na willing to complete yung training na
Yung training.
module. Oh. And then the parishes will also support them, yung mga students. So sila bahala yung for example yung transportation, yung mga snacks, ganun. So
Yeah, gusto ko nga
it's
tanungin-
really a collaboration.
Yeah. Max, gusto ko nga tanongin since you you opened that part sa mga parishes. I would like to know the numbers of this disadvantaged students, no, yung mga and then mga kids na out of school, sabi nga the least, the lacking, and the lost. No, do you have the numbers kung gaano sila kalaki, or tapos yung initiative ninyo is just focus within Cebu, or
Yes.
it can expand somewhere in the Visayas or more on the southern part?
I think yung other teammates ko would have that number, but I know na malaki yung proportion na
Malaki ba talaga?
yung poor. So malaki yung potential na ma-address ng training na to. This is as right now this is focused on Cebu kasi andito yung mga partners, but this can be a model also for other places. Kasi right now we're setting
Can I
it up.
answer that?
Sige.
Sige,
Jade.
Jade.
Actually, way back 2020, we partner with TCS. Yung TCS is an affiliate of Tech Mahindra. Kasi si Tech Mahindra they also have like parang technology din na parang organization, no? We partner with them, no? And then there was a study talaga na parang kinandak ni TCS, no? It's not really like a deep dive talaga na information, but I think it will also stem doon sa how BYTE can really create an impact. So the data provided us, no, na TCS provided us that 70% of Cebu, 70% of Cebu doesn't have a stable connectivity. So if you try to look at it, yeah, it's very unfortunate, but it is also an opportunity, no? But if you try to look at it also, 70% of Cebu walang stable na connection. So basically, you will already parang assume na parang there's a possibility of a digital divide, no? Maybe there's also a possibility that there's a decrease or parang poor digital literacy with those 70% covered. So that, I mean, if you try to look at those numbers, parang that already answer to your question, and that is also where I can already see that BYTE has a really good future and also can really provide a good impact to that 70%.
Yeah, ang laki ng number kung ganun nga yung out of school youth na dapat matulungan talaga ng mga programs and initiatives like this. How is the government looking at this? Anong approach naman nila through your group? Meron ba silang offer or something?
Ang BIM, ang DOST is really a key partner sa initiative. So DOST is providing the space for the training center and of course other mga resources din doon. So very important yung role ng DOST. As to the local government units, we haven't reached out to them yet, but may mga contacts din naman kami and may mga projects din naman yung local government units related to technology.
Yes, I think, Max, that we complement with the government program like DOST, kasi yung mandate ng DOST is to provide technology to the to the general public, and we also work with the ICT. Yes. Because the ICT is the one who really push this program, kasi kailangan talaga ng nila support. Just like one project that we had right now, it relates also with BYTE. We call this as ILET. It's Internet for Sustainable Livelihood Education and Tourism. So this project is more on connectivity on the islands. So we are now piloting it on an island nearby in Mactan in Cordoba. You know, Cordoba, they had the new bridge right now. And we pilot this one. And even though that island, it's called Hilutungan Island, it's just within the Metro Cebu area. Wala silang internet. They had internet, but talagang yung students nila during classes time, they have to go to the nearest seashore where there's the, you know, yung ano ng data nila, yung 3G, can get the signal. So when we provided this connection, it also relates with BYTE, because most of the students who are disadvantaged on the island will become students also of BYTE. Kasi walang opportunity. Then we extended this one. We test it to another island that's part of Lapu-Lapu, and we installed the Starlink. And we also help the school to be connected to the internet. So again, the schools become a partner with us. The principal told us, if my student, the night, yung night school, can join BYTE, we said it's very much open as long as we work together for this project. So the local government, Department of Education, DICT, DOST, talagang we are complementing with them. But again, since this is a project that initiated by just a group of volunteers, it's not been part of their budget. Sabi nila, maybe by next year, they can support us. Yun ang sinabi ng DepEd sa akin, that we can support you maybe by next year kasi wala nang allocation. But we are still very much open to those students if we can train them. And going back with BYTE, it's more on the collaborative of each of the organizations. I forgot to mention that one of the partners right now, I talked with the president of RISE. RISE is one of the internet service provider here in Cebu, running up fiber optics. Mr. Rhett Jones, the president, he said he wants to join BYTE. From his own message, sabi niya, we will provide you with a 100 Mbps fiber connection without any cost.
Wow.
And if your graduates will pass, we are going to hire them, because they are expanding very rapidly, not only in Cebu. I think RISE already have some presence in Manila and Davao. Yun ang sinabi niya sa akin. We want to support you, yung mga out of school youth nyo, if they pass our exams, then we are going to absorb them. So palang, we started on May, and a lot of yung mga stakeholders and mga partners are coming in.
Ganda, yes, ganda. Tito Tribs,
I'd like to add.
Yes, sure, Jade, go.
Yeah, yun yung sinabi ni Sir Jeffrey din, no, about RISE, no, parang employability. The recent din na tech advocacy that we had, no, it's the tech advocacy, parang focus talaga ni tech advocacy is bridging opportunities, no, to NGOs, no, kasi parang we all know na parang if we try to visit tech summits, tech events, you cannot see parang NGOs there. It's usually banking, yung mga medical, yung parang ganun. So you cannot see NGOs. So the tech advocacy also parang aims to also parang bridge, no, those tech providers and also government agencies. But at least we can also help NGOs. Now, there was also one thing also, because there's this parang provider, Seacon. They are cybersecurity providers. Their CEO parang flew talaga to Cebu, Philippines, and then this is what he said. No, I also parang told him about BYTE, and he also said na parang this is very noble. No? And he also assured na if BYTE can also produce talents for cybersecurity, he also wants to help those parang talents, no, and also employ them, especially that they are expanding and creating cybersecurity operations center in the Philippines. So again, that's also like a huge impact then, no, for workforce development in Cebu.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Tito Tribs, meron
Yep.
ba yan?
Meron actually, mahaba yung listahan ko ng
Yes,
tanong.
dito ko nga yung papel mo kanina eh.
Una ko tanong kay Jeff, yung kanina kasi pinag-uusapan natin yung mga equipment natin. But during the course of the conversation, I learned that there was donations and so on. Pero he mentioned kasi blade servers. So blade servers are medyo scaled down servers and so on. So hindi ba tayo worried na we're working on old technology to teach them? So please, that is a question coming from the description kasi sinabi mo naman kanina meron tayong Linux, and that will encompass a lot of things. So are we depending on donations? And usually kasi pag donation legacy system yung ibabato sa iyo di ba? Legacy equipment yung ibabato sa iyo. Go ahead, Sir Jeff.
Yes, Raymond, thank you for that question. It's very appropriate. Linux will run on at least nasubukan namin because before we used to run Windows, the commercial version.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, isang week lang mag-hang up siya. Then we tried to run Linux on a 386 machine.
Oh, okay.
Yung machine ng Linux, I think we use it for caching or something, I forgot.
Yep.
And we didn't notice the Linux machine was running for more than a year. Kung hindi yung fan nag-give up.
Kasi,
You don't know that the caching machine was running. I think Linux is very robust, right?
Yep.
It can run on cell phones. It can run on big one. The blade servers that InfoWeapons donated to us because they transferred their operations and their development to Singapore. The CEO, Mr. Lawrence Hughes, he said, we have this equipment. We don't want it to bring it to Singapore. You look for ways how you can utilize this one. So we have around 12 new servers. It's commercial grade kasi yung business ng InfoWeapons is more on IPv6. So they have internet appliance running on IPv6. So I think it's a fair equipment running on AMD, and it really is good. It runs on the latest Linux distribution that we have been testing on it, and it runs well. Ang problema lang na kasi noon, wala na siyang support from the supplier kasi mga 2014 pa yata yung mga equipment na. Then your question about are we more on the support from mga donors ganon? I think that's one to start with, but eventually we discuss with the team that we must look for sustainability options and how to run it. Maybe there would be scholars supported by the IT companies through their CSR. Then it will create para we can hire people to focus full time on the administrative. Then we can get good trainers on this one. So yun ang namin, Raymond. We're still looking for partners for the sustainability options for this one. And I think the church is very rich. Max?
With regards to yung hardware, interesting because I also run yung Linux. I like to play around with Linux. If challenging yung hardware mo, you learn a lot of things. You learn how to maximize. For instance, yung file server namin sa bahay namin for the entire family, parang I had to remove the cover kasi hindi na kaya ng fan niya. And then kasi I had to use an open source na firmware because yung file server supported only I think ang limit nun nasa 2 terabyte na disk liit lang ng 2 terabyte. So I bought mga higher capacity disk, hindi na supported ng firmware niya. I had to use a parang open source hack na firmware by the community, and then bumili lang ako ng USB fan. So yan, running parang if top of the line kasi yung equipment mo, you do not encounter these challenges, okay lang. But if you encounter yung mga challenges na ganyan, you learn a lot of things. So correct. I think that will be interesting. And also, it's putting it in a better light. dependent pa kami ng donated na software. So I'm sure it will be exciting for the trainees to how to optimize systems to run on this service, because we're already looking into possible solutions na pwedeng ma-pilot namin, let's say sa mga parishes, pwedeng magamit na iparun nila sa Blade servers na to.
Correct. I agree with what you said. I thank you, Jeff. Sorry. Go ahead, Jade. Go ahead.
Jade.
Just to add also for those for the question, no? Also, it's also important din, no? We can say that legacy kasi Blade servers, no? But again, the parang ang objective din kasi ni Byte is that we cannot just go advanced right away. We need to also understand the basics of technology. So you cannot just go right away with cloud without even understanding what's like a server, how server runs. So the yung parang vision din ni parang Sir Jeffrey, no, is also to build like a course outline that is also gradual. Now you cannot just go advanced. You need to also understand the basics, no? Understanding how the server works, how does cloud work, how can that be, how can that operate, no? Na parang people understands it like it's just somewhere in the cloud that I'll just have to access it. But again, at the end of the day, at the back end, it's just simply a server. So basically, yun that's just to parang they will have like a complete package, no? Fundamentals up to the advanced na parang understanding of the technology then, and then we will start first with the like for the grants, but again sustainability model, operating models are also in the works na din.
I'm sure din naman yung mga yung mga graduates diyan sa Byte by the time magkatrabaho sila, I'm sure hindi naman yung latest sa mapapasukan nila equipment do sa office. I'm sure siguro mga legacy system na 4 or 5 years old din yun. So
correct.
Yun na rin yung pag-aaralan nila by the time na makapasok sila. Unless nandun sila sa Amazon or sa Google na luma rin, I'm sure yung ibang gamit nila, especially pag mga data center nila sa ibang lugar. Kasi ano yan ano na nga, di ba, Tito Trips, we were just talking about mainframe.
Yes. Actually,
ago,
ano yan?
They're still using that. Diba?
Gusto ko i-bring in yan dun sa usapan. Kasi, tama yung sinabi ni Max. I agree with that. Yung sinabi ni Max na magsimula ka dyan sa legacy system. Kasi hindi ka matututo, di ba? Mahalaga yon. Pero ito yung isang fact. Parang 72% pa rin ng mga bangko sa Pilipinas ay may legacy system na hindi nila mabitawan at may mainframe pa din na tumatakbo.
Yeah.
Di ba? Baka market yan, baka market para sa kanila, di ba? So true, yan yung usapan. That's ito pa, any of the gentlemen can answer. So I was reviewing the website. One of the points that caught my attention is leadership and character formation training by RAFI and Cebu Caritas. Question: does it include training on fake news and disinformation and how to battle that?
Yes,
Trips.
yes.
Isa yan sa namin, Trips, sa Caritas, yung talaga na yung disinformation sa media literacy. May kami sa module kami niyan sa Caritas, and we're doing that sa mga parishes, different areas sa Cebu. And personally also, yan yung advocacy ko. So whatever I can do to help, I offer naman. So, but this one very specific ka naman kasi ito sa yung in fact yung hyper focus kami sa running servers kasi yan yung may may at least assured ka na ang employability mataas but
correct.
RAFI also has yung mga programs na related to it. So collaboration lang ng mga different programs.
Yes,
Sir Jeff?
Yes, I think yung pinaka-importante kasi cannot be addressed by technology.
True.
There must be values formation on this one.
That's so
Kasi
true.
we might be training a lot of people, then they go dark hat, they go.
Yes.
So
that's true.
Biting all the people all around, on the negative side. So I think that's where Caritas and RAFI comes in. They have programs like that. Our foundation is very technical. We're on IT. We don't know anything about that. We just see the disadvantage, then we train them. We don't know what their background, ano ba, saan sila galing. In fact, I talked with one of the LGUs here in Cebu City. They said, can you come up with a program for the prisoners?
Wow,
And,
okay.
yeah, sabi ko, yeah, he's one of the, from here in Cebu City. He said, can you come up with a program similar to BYTE that we will focus? Kasi walang ginawa yung mga priso. They're just sitting there. If they can, just, I don't know.
TikTok? Hindi ba sila sa YouTube?
yung kasi kung ganun, may parang call center, I don't know what, but those are the things that we need to address, which technology cannot do that.
Isingit ko lang, Jing.
Yes,
may
sure,
may journalism angle din, because when we were meeting para sa training, I asked, pwede kayang mag-training kami dito sa Jorn on CMS,
okay.
di ba? Kasi makita mo naman ngayon, hindi pa masyadong familiar on how to use a CMS, yung mga publishing tech. And said, okay, just it's up
Correct.
to you, because yung ganyan, yung InnoPub, we've been doing that, yung bootcamp. So baka dito we might be able to train the next generation of journalists na mas na sila, mas yung hacker mentality na you do things, you make you build things, di ba, rather than very dependent ka on yes, may system pa, they know how to build systems. So siya, exciting na mga prospects.
Kasi nga itong mga initiative na to, that it will make us producers rather than just consumers.
Yeah,
Yan
that's
ang problema
true.
kasi natin sa Pilipinas. We're all just consumers eh. And unfortunately, maraming satisfied sa ganun. Pero wala eh. Kung you just consume, you just burn money. Unlike producing and creating, di ba? You make money. You make a career out of this, di ba?
Yes, that's true. We should, not just ride the waves, we should make the waves.
Yes.
Yan. Okay. Kaya kayong tinanong, Tito Jing, yung usapan tungkol sa false information and fake news. Kasi may lumabas na article sa The Guardian na sa Asia daw, parang 62% ng mga trolls na nagwo-work in this area, in particular ata in the Philippines, are either out of school youth or youth na hindi tumuloy sa, or alam mo yon, nasa lower part, di ba, yung mga ganon. So they're there because it's a job.
Yes.
Di ba? Wala silang ideology, wala silang di ba? It's a job.
Make yung dollars.
Make money. Correct.
Yes.
Make money.
I think that
madaming ginamit.
Yes, nagiging issue sa Philippines yung mga out of school youth. Because most of them have cell phones. Nagkakaroon sila ng this kind of yung mga jobs na iba yung hindi naman siya black hat, pero still on the medyo darker side ng on the internet, yung nagiging troll sila,
nagiging troll,
scammers, yung mga ganun yung nila, mostly yung mga easy money type na mga jobs na kukuha ng mga out of school youth. Yun nga pala, how do we tell this aside from education, you said nga meron kayong value education for this kind of pero anong approach sa mga, especially for these kids na exposed na sa ganung klaseng side of the internet, of technology? Paano natin mababaliktad yung mindset nila na dapat nandito tayo sa side na to? What's that kind of approach sa mga, kasi maraming mga surveys, maraming mga studies na iba yung Philippines, yung iba yung impact ng technology. May mga producers nga tayo, like I said kanina, iba yung nila, iba yung concept nila, iba yung mindset nila. It's more on the darker side nga. How do we cure this?
Max, I think in my own opinion, Jing, is that make them busy, right?
Make them busy. Yeah.
Make them busy. Give them things that are relevant, that they can help other people.
Correct.
So, halimbawa yung example namin with the janitor, right? We don't know ano yung future niya. But I saw him that he's very interested. It's something new to him. I think all of the kids, especially the youth, they still have this void inside them na kailangan natin, we have to put something good. Kasi if they partner with friends who are just, using technology on the bad side. I just want to, when BYTE started, it's very morbid. I always talk this to Max. I live in a very very, what do you call this, part of Cebu, in which our place has 2 movies about bad people being made. So you know the place I'm saying. So we have Alegal Gang and Tawilwil Gang being created. I live in that place. So it happened on there was a burial that one of my friends was in the cemetery. Then what I noticed on this area in our place, ang daming mga gangs. We know that, wearing blacks, and so on. And they have a leader. Yung leader nila kasi mag-Mobile Legend tayo. Then all of them was doing Mobile Legend. Kasi they just follow on what the leader is doing. The one who followed them are yung 14 years old, 15 years old. So I was there in the cemetery. Then it so happened that one of the executive director from CVISNET, part of RAFI also, his name is NN. I asked him, can we train those kids to learn except Mobile Legend? Said, yeah, pwede yun, no? Then if we just get the leader and have them, compete on, make some online something, then if they want to have a gang war, you can use the internet cafe of Barangay A and Barangay. We will test ourselves in testing our web servers, in how tough it is. We can do things, we have to package something that really fits what the youth really need. So I think that's one, and it's also the reason that BYTE came in. Not only to address unemployment, we're also addressing other issues of the society. So yun ang simula. It's very morbid. It started on the cemetery, and it becomes BYTE. Then Max came in, Jade came in, and the other, and also the OST. So I think addressing at the grassroots level, especially here in urban areas, it's very difficult. We talk, where's your father? My father is still in jail. They call it in the big house. He's still in the big house right now. How are we going to change their lives? Yun.
Jing, banggitin ko lang, nalatandaan ko yung CVISNET. When I went to Cebu for the first time in 2020, yung UST invited us. Nandun na sila doing very meaningful projects. Ewan ko kung, was it Mr. Bonifacio, ano ba yan? Yung parang foundation, benefit pala yun. Is it, that's different, sir, no?
Yes,
Sept.
Yeah, Sept is different. Yeah, we're also one of the movers before with Sept. Sept is more on the education. It's linking industry and school, but this one is addressing the yung may kaya, yung mga college graduate and so on. Sept doesn't address the out of school youth.
Out of school.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Nag-comment dito si Dean Aris Ignacio, loadin na po niya si Sir Jeff.
Yes.
And Jing, Loves and Tribs. I think this is an offshoot of naalala niyo yung the internet was still starting out. Yung parang can-do na attitude na want to learn.
Yes.
You do this, you build things, di ba? Dati andun yung culture talaga of sharing.
Yes.
Yung what you learn, you share it, 'di ba? Yan naman talaga yung
di ba?
Yung environment that gave rise to the internet that we have
And
now.
that's the essence of internet, Max, right? Internet is about sharing,
Doon naman nag-start talaga yun.
Yeah, totoo yan.
Sharing information, kaya nga nag-start sa academe because knowledge is power. Pero yun na nga because of times have changed after what, 20, almost 30 years of the internet. nagbago talaga lahat. Yun na nga, nagkaroon ng darker side ng internet, and that's what we want to we want to have a parang 180-degree turn around pagdating sa ganyan. So yun yung inaantay natin kasi nga magulo. It started as a wild west. It's until now it's a wilder west ng internet. So yun na nga, buti na lang we have people and programs and foundations who try their best to address mga nagiging problem na nakikita ngayon when it comes to our youth na I'm sure lahat naman internet savvy na ngayon, mga bata. Yun nga lang how will they put this into good use in their lives and in their future. And siguro bigyan natin, medyo lumalalim na yung gabi, so bigyan natin mga last word yung mga ating mga guests about their their program. And umpisa natin kay kay Jade from Ramon Aboitiz Foundation. Any last words regarding this initiative that you have with CVISNET and Caritas?
Yeah, so I think basically yung mga sinasabi na how do we turn around out of school youth. Again, the reality is it's not really like a guarantee, but again, BYTE, the noble or the objective of BYTE is parang basically, again, as much as possible, if you can turn around those parang out of school youths, and then parang breed better people in Cebu, and then also parang increase also the workforce development of Cebu, also increase also parang the scarcity of talents around the world. So again, we will stop. Again, we're just starting, and then again, this is again, Jeffrey Llanto here is also parang ito yung tao na parang pinakamabilis na tao na pag sinabi niya pag ganito parang right away dapat gawin na natin kaagad. So I really also admire this guy when it comes to dedication and also commitment. So I myself, I also adore him, and again, we share the same wavelength, and again, as a social development worker under RAFI, again, it's a must that we really want to parang make this happen and make BYTE fly. Aside from this, just to add also, BYTE is not just also like for training, but we also see this like an innovations hub also in the future, wherein even other organizations can also benefit if we, let's just say we talk about smart forest. We can just tap into BYTE na hey, let's do some IoT, help this organization datafy some forests or datafy some cities. BYTE can be like a breed of talent, and also can be like a producer of innovations and inventions. So yeah, I think that's it for me. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you, Jade. Jeffrey, Beam.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, Jing, Melvin, and Raymond for this opportunity. I really appreciate giving us the time to air what BYTE is all about. So what I would like to say, just like what John Lennon mentioned, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. One day,
Yes.
if we can form, we could be very strong. I am one of the lucky folks that I know. I was there, the first heartbeat of the first internet connection. I was there. I noticed it together with some of the pioneers. Then our role is to educate people how to use the internet during that time. Then almost more than 30 years since 1994. That's almost 29 years. It's still the same. We are still advocating that the internet will be used to the disadvantaged sector. We saw it directly, from the islands, from the remote areas, even in the urban areas. There are still people left behind. Of course, you may say that that's the problem of the government. That's not your problem. And they're asking me, why are you doing it, Bim? I used to work in a Japanese company. After the UST, I used to work in an American company, and they're asking me, why are you doing it, Bim? I said, because it's the right thing to do.
Yes.
It's the right thing to do. You know, you have this knowledge. You have to transfer it to the others also, to uplift them. So BYTE is just I think, in my own opinion, it's just a stone in the pan. We're going to create ripples. I didn't expect that Max, Jade, the others would be joining in. I never expected that TechSabado would listen to the small voice and echo it to the other users. I never do that. What I want to know that if we hold each other, if we help each other using open source technology, no offense to the commercial ones, maybe we can have a better place, Again, thank you very much, everybody, for TechSabado for inviting us.
Yes. You're welcome, of course. And Max, yeah, ikaw naman ulit.
Thanks, Jing, Melvs, and Tribs. For me talaga, it's a matter of self-interest kasi I'm very interested in tech, and this is like being given a playground. So I look into these different solutions na pwede mong paglaruan. Ang dami doon na solution for a newsroom. Ang dami doon na solution for an NGO. And ang impact kasi when you implement these solutions into these different organizations, ang impact sa operation and impact sa community malaki. And as I said, if you recall yung early days of the internet, it's all about sharing, it's all about learning. I remember yung may isang hacker na German na running an internet cafe na who taught me how to use GIMP. Kasi di ba dati yung Photoshop, people use Photoshop. Tingnan mo ang price ng Photoshop. Siguro yung mga taong nakikita mo running Photoshop, karamihan doon pirated. Kasi mahal ng license no, di ba? He said, no, you use GIMP. This was like, anong year to? 2000, 2002. He said, you can use GIMP. So, doon, yung ganun na ethos, di ba? I found this solution, might be useful to you. Let's learn how to run it. So, with that kind of community, I think, siya, ang potential to help yourself, to help others, to help one another, ang laki. So we hope to make an impact on the youth, especially yung out of school youth. So salamat Jing, Tony Melvs and Trip.
Thank you rin for sharing this information. Alam mo naman Max, you're always welcome to our show. Pagdating sa iyo, talagang open kami sa mga initiatives mo. Okay, maraming salamat. Everyone, I would like to thank again Jade Gadiane, IT Director of the Ramon Aboitiz Foundation Incorporated, or better known as RAFI, and Jeff Llanto, Executive Director, Central Visayas Information Sharing Network Foundation Incorporated, or CVISNET, and of course our good friend Max Limpag, founder ng InnoPub and Cebu Caritas volunteer. Thank you sa inyong lahat. And sabi nga ni Jeff, gusto ko na, why are we doing this? Because it is the right thing. Yan, yun, galing nun. Yes. And again, good evening. Tito Trips, attorney, anong meron sa ating mga comment? May mga nag-comment ba sa ating usapan? Alam mo yun, pag maganda kwentuhan natin, talaga tumatagal tayo, nag-extend tayo sa overtime tayo parati. Pag maganda talaga kwentuhan sa kausapan natin. Maraming salamat sa ating mga kaibigan from Cebu, especially kay Max. Yan. I-support po natin yung mga ganitong initiative, mga kaibigan. Talaga ito po yung malaking makakatulong talaga sa atin, no? Especially kagaya ng mention ko nga, no? Instead of going to the darker side of the internet, na marami na expose ngayon yan. Kala nyo mga simple lang yung mga TikTok na yan, yung mga YouTube na yan, mga Facebook Reels, kala nyo nakakatuwa yan, pero iba talaga pag you just consume. Tapos yung mga producer niyan would just produce something na hindi naman talaga nakakatulong talaga sa society, no? It gives siguro it gives a bit of fun to people. Correct. Pero iba po talaga if you really know the back end of how the internet works, how the network gives all this data around the world. Mas iba yung feeling na ikaw mismo yung nagpapatakbo nun rather than ikaw yung nagkukonsumo o ano yung pinoproduce nila sa front end. Yan po yung ginagawa ng BYTE saka ng Caritas and RAFI para matulungan ang ating mga out-of-school youth ma-expose po kung ano talaga ang dapat nilang gawin sa internet. Ayan, nako, overtime na tayo dahil napakaganda ng usapan natin. Ano, may mga sasabihin pa ba kaya, Attorney, Tito Tris, bago tayo magpaalam?
Yung comment lang ni Ira na Linux user siya, na mas nagagamit niya ngayon, mas stable daw yung ngayon, yung system niya. At lahat naman ng apps na tumatakbo sa Windows 11, tumatakbo rin. So sabi niya, so it's the best thing that has happened to him. Sabi niya sa comment section. Ayun, saka
Kaya pa ba?
Jing, ang bigat ng sinabi ni ni Sir Jeff who is parang I believe a legendary tech figure in Cebu tech scene. Sabi niya, sabi niya, you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one, no?
Yeah.
Tindi na, di ba?
Quoted from John Lennon, Imagine.
Paalam na rin ako.
Sige.
Salamat sa mga nag-comment sa Facebook and YouTube. And of course, to our guests from Cebu, si Max, si Sir Jeff, tsaka si Jade. Ayun, and see you again next week. Dito, Tribs, paalam mo muna.
Okay. Magandang gabi po at papaalam na po Raymund Tribdino, Tito Tribs ng Malaya Business Insight. Pag pumunta po kayo sa website ng RAFI, meron silang crowdfunding doon. Puntahan nyo. Puntahan nyo yung crowdfunding kasi sigurado ko pag ma-portion yon, yung portion ng crowdfunding yun pupunta rito sa BYTE. Kailangan nila ng suporta para dyan sa lahat ng mga projects na yan. And also, ano ba yung sinulat ko rito? Kasi kung meron si Sir Beam na tungkol galing kay John Lennon, ako din meron sagot dun sa bakit marami tayong trolls, kasi idleness is the devil's workshop. No, Mr. Max Limpag, kaya kailangan natin labanan yon. Maraming salamat. Back to you, Tito Jing.
Yes. Okay ka na ba, Attorney? Okay na?
Yes, okay na ako.
Yes. Okay. Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com and of course, the Manila Times. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan, Sunday Business and IT. Sa Sunday Times, bukas po ng Linggo. Ang ating banner story, cloud usage in the country is on the rise according, byliner po to ng isang Alibaba cloud executive. And of course, ating digital version naman is yun tungkol po sa paggamit po ng AI sa cybersecurity. Yan po ang ating mga banner stories for tomorrow. Like at follow nyo po ang ating mga social media pages, facebook.com/TechSabado and facebook.com/Newsbytes.ph. Sundan nyo na rin po ang website ng Malaya Business Insight. Next week po, ayusin natin yan para ma-mention natin lahat ng mga website natin, mga news outlet dito sa TechSabado. Sa mga nanonood ng TechSabado sa YouTube channel, saka syempre sa ating Facebook page, like, subscribe, and share lang po ang ating mga videos. TechSabado and today's Tuesdays brought to you by Smart Communications Incorporated. Maraming salamat po sa ating mga kaibigan sa PLDT Smart Group Corporate Communications Team para po sa walang humpay na pagsuporta sa mga online shows tulad po ng TechSabado at saka Today is Tuesday. Thank you, Maki and RCF para po sa ating mga audio equipment na ginagamit natin dito sa mga shows natin dito sa Facebook and YouTube. Mabibili po sa themusicsourceph.com. Yan po. Tandaan, hindi lahat ng nasa internet ay totoo. Pangalagaan nyo po ang inyong mga data at private personal information para po makaiwas sa identity theft na madalas gamitin sa cybercrime. Keep in mind, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. Respetuhin po natin ang mga karapatang pantao. Dito na po nagtatapos ang TechSabado ngayong Saturday. Hope to interact with you again on Facebook and YouTube next Saturday. And of course, with Tito Tribs, Today is Tuesday. Wear a mask, people, para sa makaiwas sa mga sakit sa labas. Maraming salamat. Have a great Sunday. At kung ano pa naiwan sa ating weekend.
TechSabado.